So the software which we are working on is your Premiere Pro. Now, most of the individuals might be thinking there are a few other softwares which we can work on, but why are we choosing Premiere Pro itself? Premiere Pro is actually a very, very comprehensive software which is being developed by Adobe. The Adobe is specialized in creating comprehensive business softwares since the beginning. So if you don't know already, and so this is the software which we'll be working on. In the interface, I have already gone through the interface. Once again, I will just explain you the basics of the interface so that you all can understand this. The first thing I will be doing is selecting the file and pressing escape key from my keyboard in order to remove this tab. You can do the same if you're using MacBook as well. All the shortcut keys, whichever I'll be explaining, that would be not restricted to PC. It will also be for MacBook. Only control is changed with command. Whenever I'm pressing Control S for saving, you can assume that it's Command S for saving. When I'm pressing Control D for duplicate, you can press Command D for duplicate, and so forth. The shortcut keys, whichever I'll be explaining, I will be writing them down on the screen there in that instance itself. So you can just go through it once again, and you can know what and how that is. All right. That being said, let's get things started. The first step is to create a new project. And why is that so? Because whenever we are creating a new project, we will be adding things into our new project file. So that is something which we are going to do now. So let me just bring my laptop directly. Okay. So select file. This is the first step you will be doing. File, new, and then you will be selecting project to create a new project. This is the new project which you will be creating. Once the new project is being created, you will be naming anything you like. You can go with new file, you can go with any name you like, and that would be the name under your project settings. That will be coming on top here once you have created it. So the file, whichever you are giving the name of, will be stored and will be used as your project file name. Remember, it's not your video name, it's just the project you are giving. So I'll be giving any name I like. I can go with intro project, I can give it any other name you like. For, just to get the better understanding, I'll be writing that session 1 as my project name, because this is something, which will be working on the first session. So session 1 would be my name of the file. Location here defines where this file will be saved to. Now, most of the people, if you are using PC, which doesn't have much space in it, they can just change their properties in using Scratch Disk. For instance, right at this moment of time, I happen to have less space in my computer. If I can just see that I happen to have only 36.7 GB left. And there are fair chances that I will see some or the other issues whenever I'm trying to render my videos in this drive, because at least there must be 50 GB if you want to have a healthy if you want to have a healthy rendering process. Then you must remember that you must have at least 50 GB for you to go with. But unfortunately, we don't have that 50 GB for us to go. So therefore, what we can do is we can switch this Scratch Disk to something else. Now, at this moment of time, I'll just add my pen drive. If I can just find that out. There. Okay, never mind. I think my pen drive is not there, but let's assume that we happen to have one more drive or something here. So we can assume that, I'll just tell you how this works. Instead of giving you a practical example, I would just rather give you a theoretical example. Consider that we happen to have one more drive here. And if I want to save it there, then I can just go to my Scratch Disk. For students who don't know what Scratch Disk means, Scratch Disk is nothing but your hard drive in which you will be saving your project. That's your Scratch Disk. Whenever I say Scratch Disk, you must remember that it's the saving drive in which you will be saving your project. In this case, it's a video. You will be saving your video, or you will be saving those files in this Scratch Disk option. So just make sure that you are using the Scratch Disk option. You are in Scratch Disk option, and you will see the path for capturing the video, for capturing audio, for video previews, audio previews, project autosave, CC libraries, and motion graphics. So we happen to have all these things in here. Now, what we're gonna do is we will be selecting the captured video setting, and I'll be clicking browse. And here, I can choose whichever the file I want from here. Instead of C drive, I can choose some other drive if I have it here. So once the new drive is selected, you can press OK in order to save that setting for your scratch disk. So your scratch disk is now saving the settings for your files. And that scratch disk will be responsible for showing you the preview of the video, the captured video, and everything else. Ingest setting is there for you to show whether to copy the files or to just keep it as it is. If you want to check the ingest, you can just select it and you can use it for copying your files into your into your project location itself. But here it won't come because my drive does not have enough space, and also I don't have a media encoder. Now, media encoder is something which you must have additional to what you already have. As I'm using a crack version of it, I don't need it, and neither do you. So the whole process can be done without using a media encoder itself. Without that being said, media encoder is something that is an additional thing which you will have, that is available for if you happen to have a full version of your Adobe Premiere Pro, which we don't want to have because that is something which we don't like to have while learning. That will be done if you're going through commercial projects. If you are taking any commercial projects, that time do let me know. I will just show you things with regard to ingest settings. This is nothing, it's just there to show you whether to keep those source file as it is or to copy them into a new drive. So that's something which is not so important for us. So just skip it at this moment. Here, display format is time code. We happen to have feet frames 35 and frames. This is nothing but how your total frames are being distributed throughout the system. So here we happen to have time code. We have feet frames of 16, feet frames 35 and frames. So here you can choose any one. I will be going with time code at this moment of time because I will be explaining everything with regard to time itself. So I'll go with the time code. If you go with frames, it will show you frame by frame. All movies will be coming in frame by frame. I'll be showing you that with an example in future classes. Audio samples, I'll be keeping this as audio samples itself. Capture DV or HDV. So digital video or high definition digital video, it depends on you. So I'll be going with DV itself, capture format. And then finally, I'll be pressing OK to create the project. So once the project is created, you will come across this specific interface. This interface is having three things. Let me just explain this to you. This is your preview monitor. We call this as preview monitor. Remember, also take note that I am in editing. If you are in editing and you don't see the same settings as what I see right now, you can reset it any given time by pressing window, selecting workspace, and then clicking reset to saved layout. When you click reset to saved layout, eventually you will be getting the same format which I happen to have right in front of me. So that being said, you are in editing tab, and right side you will have this program name given, and you will have no sequences written down. That means there is nothing to work with and there is nothing to show from there. This here is called preview monitor. So this section here is called your preview monitor. This section here is called your source monitor. Consider that there are two monitors, two virtual monitors right in front of you. That is your preview monitor, and one is your source monitor. If you happen to have a very big setup in which you will have three monitors in front of you, then you can keep one monitor for timeline sequences, one monitor for program sequences, that is your preview monitor, and one specific monitor for your source monitor. So these are two different monitors which you can keep differently if you happen to have that bigger setup. But I won't recommend you to go with that because you're still a beginner. So go with this, and once you become totally advanced, then you can go with 3 setup monitors, and then you can go with full-fledged video editing. That would be much better, but that is something you will come across in future classes. So this is your preview, this is your source. As the name suggests, preview shows you what things are there which you are editing right now. Right now I don't have any video in my sequence, that's why it's not showing anything. For people who are getting confused with sequence, who have not attended the first class, let me just explain to you what you mean by sequence. Before the director shoots a movie, he sits in one place and then he thinks, how should that movie be represented to people? That means whether that movie should be widescreen, should be square screen, or how it should be. There are different types of movies there. You can see that there are different screen types. There are different preview types. You can see different types of movies. So every single movie, the director beforehand itself, he will decide what should be the aspect ratio, what should be the resolution, what should be the audio setting and everything for that specific video. And that all things consolidated together is called sequence in one simple word. For people who are getting still confused, they can, after this class, they can please watch my previous class video to get full-fledged, in detail review about those things which I was talking about: resolution, aspect ratio, FPS, and your audio settings. So that being said, I will start to import my files. This is your import media section. The same import media section is available for almost all workspaces. These are your workspaces. As I am editing, I am in editing workspace. If I want to color my video, I will be going to color workspace. If I want to add effects to my video, I will be going to effects workspace. If I want to add audio to my video, if I want to alter something in audio settings, I will be going to audio and I will be altering things in here. If I want to alter a few of the things with regard to graphics, I will be going to graphics and I will be editing in here. In libraries, I will be going here and I will be editing in libraries. So there are different settings here and workspaces through which I can go and I can show you the editing sections to add things into your library. So libraries, same thing, import media. Graphics, same thing, import media. But you will see that size varies. Audio, import media, but very small. Effects, import media section is not there. I think, yes, import media here, it's not there. But if you can just bring this in here, and I believe, let's see, I just have the media browser. I don't have import settings in here. So only your FX does not have your import settings. Apart from that, color, import media is there. Editing, import media is there. Even assembly will have import media section once I reset it. I have just modified this to my liking. I won't change this. I will just keep it here. So this is your workspace in which you will be learning and in which you will be doing things for the start. This is your editing section. So just for just for you to understand this completely, I will be adding in a video and I will be showing you how to edit that video in real time. And with that, you will understand how this is actually working out. So for that, what I will do, I will just bring in the video. There are two ways you can download videos. Now there is one more thing, how you will be getting in, where you will be getting those resources. So you'll be getting resources from two websites. First website being videvo.net. That's the first website. The second website being, you can also go with artgrid.io, but here you need to make payment if you want to go with this. This is a very new website which has a very comprehensive stock footage. So one license, if you get the license, by the way, license will cost you a subscription, so it's per month. So you can pay per month and you can get it. If for learning basis, I will not recommend you to go ahead and buy these things, because this will be something which you are going to do after you have learned all the concepts and when you're trying to do some commercial projects. So if you're trying to do some commercial projects, then I would highly recommend go with artgrid.io. Apart from that, we happen to have videvo.net and we also have pexels.com. Pixels instead of I, there is E. So here you will have video section. In video section, you will download free. You can go ahead and download free videos from here. I will just show you how to download one video in here, just so that you can see and you can, which for the start, it will be better. I'm going with that specific video, which will have, which is a very simple video. I'll just go with a simple video here. So this one is a simple video. I'll just click and I will click free download. This is how you will be downloading a video. Just wait for a few more seconds and hopefully it should be downloading. And there you go, it's downloaded. You can bring in the video in two ways. First, this is the very easiest way, and how this is how I usually bring my videos, and I would highly recommend you to do so because it will save a lot of time. How you will do it is press and hold your click button here, drag your mouse and bring it to your Premiere Pro. Don't leave it now. Again, drag up, drag to the left, and just dump this in import media to start. And when you dump it, you will get your video here on top. So you got your video in your media section, and this will reflect the same in all workspaces. If I go to libraries, you will see this. Graphics, you will see this. Audio, you will see this in here. And also color, you will see this. Effects don't have the same thing. Editing, you will see this. So everywhere you will see the same thing is being reflected throughout your workspaces. All different workspaces will have these different settings. So with that, what we will do is we will start our editing now. If I want to start editing, I have to bring this into my sequence. Sequence is nothing but I have to tell computer that I'm starting to create a project, and that project will have videos and we will be editing with that. So for that, this is the first step which you have to do. It's a very important step. So step one is to create sequence. So this is your sequence. How do you create a sequence? Is just drag and drop in new item. This is what you have to do. Drag this video and your new item button, if you're wondering where it is, this is your new item button. This is your trash button. This is your new folder button, and this is your search button. So new item button. So press, drag and drop on your new item button. That is your first step on how you will be creating a sequence. This here, as I have dragged and dropped it, you can see that the video is being shown in two channels. We have two channels here. So I'll be calling them as channels. Now you will be coming across these things here. Channels are nothing but individual representation of an audio or a video part of your complete composition. So I will call this as not as a video, but rather a composition. We'll be calling this as a composition. Composition, what do you mean by composition? In a simple way, as single elements both combined together becomes a compound, as two things combined together become a couple, as two things combined together becomes, we can say, we can say anything. We will be giving a specific word for two or more things. So here, there is not only an audio, this is not only a video. It is a composition of both. That means audio and video both combined together. If you are working in a film industry, you will understand that what this is. If you go and tell that, can I shoot a video? They will be laughing at you. You would be saying, can I make a composition? Then they will say, okay, fine, you can go ahead editing. In the editing, if you are in the editing world and if you are telling them that I want to create a video, I want to edit a video, this is something which is very, very wrong. You should be saying editing a composition. Composition is nothing but the mixture of audio and video both together. Some places you will be editing only videos. At that time, taking video editing would be fine. But here we are not only taking video, we are also working around with audio. So you will be telling composition. You'll not be telling only video or only audio. So this is the composition which has two things, an individual audio layer and an individual video layer. How do I know that? Is you can see these two things here. On the left hand side, if I can just magnify and show it to you, you will understand it more better. In this case, you will see that in your composition or in your sequence, in your left hand side, you have certain things. Forget about these things. I will be coming to these things in later classes. We happen to have these locks. These locks are used to lock a specific option while you're editing. Why do we use it? I will tell you. This here is your toggle track key. This here is your source patch key. Toggle track and source patch. What it is, I will come to that later. But for now, let me just uncheck both of them. We can just move this around if you like. And this is a toggle button. What do you mean by toggle button? The same button is used to turn it on and to turn back off. It's like a switch on your switchboard. The same switch you will be using to turn it on, to turn it back off. You don't have two switches to turn on or turn off. So the same way, we have, this is a toggle sync look. This is a synchronized look. This is your toggle track output. That means when you click this, your video will go blind. That means you can't see this specific video. It will assume that this video doesn't exist in the first place. Then we have the lock system for audio also. V1, V2, V3 represents video channel 1, video channel 2, and video channel 3. These three are channels. We call these things as channels. Video channel 1, video channel 2, video channel 3. The same thing can be said with tracks also. Some may call it as track 1, track 2, track 3. But these are actually channels. We will call them as channels. You can also call it tracks if you like. So video channel 1, video channel 2, video channel 3. Audio channel 1, audio channel 2, audio channel 3. So 3 audio channels, 3 video channels. All these channels will have their own specific video set when you are copying and pasting in your sequence. This here is your sequence timeline. This, what you can see right now, this is your sequence timeline. Why do I say this as a timeline is because you can see these numbers here, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then here we happen to have 0, 0, the first two zeros representing hours, the second two zeros representing minutes, the third two zeros representing seconds, and the fourth set of zeros representing milliseconds. The yellow or the line which you see on top represents the video here. Yellow being that your graphic card is somehow managing to represent the video. If it's red, that means it's very hard for it to render the video. If it's green, that means it's possible. It's possible to render it out. We are not going to render this all the time. We are going to export our project. We are just going to view our project in our preview monitor, and then we will be exporting our project. As I said that there is video channel and audio channel. In video channel 1, we have V1. In audio channel 1, we have A1. So video channel 1 and audio channel 1, we have these two things. If you want to see more things here, like this track is very short. 0 to 5 seconds is very short. When I'm zooming in, it's fine. But when I try to zoom out, this will be too short. You see that this is actually too short for me to see and to work around with. So what I can do is I can increase or decrease the size of the video tracks. How? By using plus or minus keys. You will have plus key to zoom in, minus key to zoom out from the video tracks. Now, let me just show you that. If I click plus key from my keyboard by pressing here, you can see that the video track is expanding. If I click minus key, it's getting shorter, plus getting longer, minus to get it shorter. You can also change it by pressing this button here and dragging to right hand side to make it smaller and dragging to left hand side to make it bigger. You can also do by pressing and holding Alt key and scroll up for making it bigger. Press and hold Alt key and then scroll down to make it shorter. These are few of the shortcuts which you need to understand before you start editing. That is how you will be actually representing your video tracks. Whenever you want to edit any video, make sure that you are starting your video here and ending your video here in the view so that you can work around with your video better. I will be increasing this. Now you see I'm increasing the track length and there you go, it's perfect. So it starts from here, ends with here. And you can also see the timelines here. 0, first second, second second, third second, fourth second, and fifth second. 5 seconds are being beautifully classified in my timeline. So in this timeline, I happen to have video 1 track and audio 1 track. When I'm trying to move them here and there, you will see that they are both moving with each other. They're not moving individually. This is because whenever you are importing a video from a composition, they will both be linked by default. They will not be coming in a different audio or video tracks. If you want to make them, if you want to unlink them, then so that whenever you are moving only video should be moving, not the audio. And when you're moving audio, only audio should be moving, not the video. If you want this to happen, you need to actually do one step. you will be right clicking by selecting any one of them. Just right click on any one of them, and here you will have something called as unlink. When you click this unlink button here, you can see that they both were highlighted first initially, but now one section has become dull and one section has become bright. That means this section here, I have selected it, and this is no longer linked to the next one. When I move this here and there, you can see that the video channel is moving here and there without any problem of, without any botheration of audio moving with that. So I have this luxury of moving this anywhere I like, and the audio would still be here, and I can move the audio here and there as well. It depends on you how you want to place this. So it's a very simple way of how you will be linking and unlinking things. So first step you have learned is how you have created a composition, how you have created a sequence, how you are importing a composition into your timeline, how you are unlinking audio and video, and how you can preview this in your preview monitor. There are few settings here in your preview monitor. Let me explain them. This here represents add marker. This marker will help you to add something in that specific timeline so that you can work around with your sequence in a more better way. What do I mean by that? So it's like this, simple and easy way. You see, if I just go ahead and click add marker, a marker will be added here. And then when it's moving along, I can set marker anywhere I like in order to let myself know that this is the place where I want to edit something. For instance, I want to edit my video when few of the leaves are moving after 2 seconds. When I'm editing one single video, it's very easy for me to add or to remember things. But when I'm working with a comprehensive project in which there will be more than tens of 20s of videos, more than 5 to 6 audio channels, so this will become a bit more of a hassle. So to remove that, what we will be doing is we will be adding markers to our videos or to the timeline more precise. To do that, this is how you will be doing. First, make sure that where your video is actually running to. And when it's done, you'll be selecting add marker. When you click add marker, you will be getting the marker here. Now, when you double click, the marker opens up, and here you can give the marker a name and comment for it. I would give this way. Please add flower footage here. It's actually not possible. So you can just write flower footage. So I'm just going to add a flower footage here. Comments, nothing. Just leave the comment. Okay, that's it. So here we happen to have a tag. So whenever you bring your mouse above this, it will show you flower footage here. So you will be adding a flower footage here. And then at third second, you want to add something else here. Just add a new tag, double click on it, and you can name it whatever you like. You can name this as new, new footage here. And then okay, you'll be adding a new footage here. So when you move your mouse above here, you will see that, okay, fine, this is where I have to add my new footage. So this tag button or marker button will allow you to add markers throughout your videos, and you can add markers to anywhere you like. You can also add marker to your specific video itself by right clicking and adding add marker. Let me just see. There you go. And the label, I will just be not this. Let me check. The marker option is, the marker option should be there. Field option, interpolation. Okay, let me check if I can just add it up here. There you go. So marker is also there. Mark section. Yeah, there you go. So when you right click here at this scrubber, it won't work when you are switching over here, because that is something which you happen to have in different versions of Premiere Pro. If you're using 2019, you may need to click here instead of here to get the marker option. So it depends on different versions which you are using. So it just depends, a slight change here. Just click add marker and it will be adding a marker only to that specific video section. If you happen to have many videos here, You can add only to the specific video section here, and you can just click that specific marker and you can move that marker to wherever you like. This marker will allow you to edit or cut any video. This is how you will be doing it. Simple as that. Now, if you want to, the same thing what we have done, the adding of marker on top and below, if you may ask me the difference, the only difference is that when you are adding the marker here, it will not show you what that specific thing is. It won't allow you to add any comments. Instead here, you can add comments by double clicking. So that's something which you want to keep in mind. Whenever you are adding these tags, make sure that you add it from here itself so that it becomes easier for you to navigate and know what that specific thing is. If you want to, however, cut the videos and you want to add the markers and stuff, you can just add it by right clicking here and adding a marker in this place. And that's how it will be. So this is how you will be getting these things in here. Now, as you can see that as I'm scrolling this scrubber here, we call this as a scrubber. I'll just write that down if people are getting confused. So it's called as scrubber. So when you drag and just move this scrubber around, you can also see that the same movement is being happening here. That means these two are now synchronized. Whatever I do in here, the same thing happens here, and the same preview happens here. That's why I told you preview monitor is linked with the timeline. Whenever I'm moving my scrubber, the timeline is also moving. If I move this here, it moves. When I move back, it moves back. This video it's looking like this. If I want to zoom inside the video, you can zoom in by selecting this option here, and you can zoom in by pressing 150 or 200 or however you like. If you want to zoom out, you can just press this button and click fit. It will just zoom out and it will fit in the main video frame. This frame here, now you may ask me, how is this video frame defined? This video frame is defined in sequence. How do I say that? Is by double clicking. And if I can just bring the slides down here, you can see that the black area is being shown. That means the black area is your sequence. And whenever you are adding any video you like, if it's bigger or smaller, it doesn't matter. It will make sure that if it's bigger than the sequence, it will just overlap the sequence, but it will not make the video bigger. It will just keep the sequence settings as it is. So that is the use of sequence. Sequence will allow all video footage, unlike their size, to fit in the same way, so that whenever you're watching a movie, it looks seamless. It doesn't look like it's being taken from different cameras. It looks as if it's being taken from one single camera only. Okay, so once that is done, you will see that this movement is being synchronized with this, and you can see that the movements are being synchronized at this moment of time. If I want to see the render here, this is what we call it as rendered video. Rendered video is nothing but cooked video, we can say. Rendering is equal to cooking. So whenever you are, when you have a rice with you, you will be first cooking it and then you can eat it, right? So similarly, if you want to see this video, the processor or the compiler of the Premiere Pro needs to first cook it. In other words, it needs to render it, and then only it can digest and it will show you what that specific thing is. Unless and until it cooks it, it cannot show you the thing. That is called rendering. So that rendering is being rendered at the background and the video footage is being shown here on top for you. So the rendering options are being set here. Full, it means that it will render complete video with its quality and it will show you with the same quality. If you go with half, it will show you with half quality. If you go with 1/4, it will show you with 1/4 quality. So whenever you are playing it, it will not show you the full quality image, but rather it will show you 1/4 quality of the image or the video footage which you have added. So it's that simple. This here is your rendering preview. This here is your actual preview of your sequence in which you can increase or decrease the size. Once it's done, you can double click the video footage and you can increase or decrease the size of the footage itself by using these pointers here. Once you are satisfied, you can just double click away or you can just double click inside for this to change or modify. All right, so that being said, we will go to the next section. That is your mark in and mark out. These two options will allow you to mark in the video and mark out the video. What do I mean by that? I will come to that in a few moments because I don't want to confuse you with these two things at this moment. We'll go with most easiest things here. Play, go a step back, and go a step forward. When I click play, it plays the video casually. If I want to stop the video, you can just press the same button again, it will stop the video. This button will take video one frame before. This will take one frame before, one frame before. You can see that each frame will be going back like this. You will be using these keyframes, or you will be using these frame keys whenever you want to edit frame by frame. There will be few of the tricky effects in your Premiere Pro in which you have to go with frame by frame. If you go with frame by frame, then only you will be able to edit your video in a much more comprehensive way, or else you will not be able to do so. So these two keys will also help you a lot. You can also use these two keys by your simple navigation button. That navigation button is here, right and left, you can see. So if you press the right key, it will take you one frame forward. If you take the left key, it will take you one frame left. It's also a best way in how you will be getting to this specific tag. You can also get to the tag by just clicking here, and it will directly take you to that specific tag. But it's, if you want to go with your keys, you can just use this keys. And now coming to this option here, this will, it will take you to the end of the video. This will take you to the start of the video. The end and start of the video will help you a lot when you're adding different footages inside your composition or your sequence. When you're adding this inside your sequence, these two buttons will help you a lot with going to the start or end of the footage. If you want to add effects, you need to go through these two buttons a lot. Then we have lift and extract. These two are the things which you will understand in few moments once I show you that. Lift will just take that video and it will just lift that up here so that you can edit the video later, which I will come to that in when that specific class is coming along. For now, let's go with this snapshot. So this will take a snapshot of the video which you have, which you are seeing right now at the position at the moment, and it will be saving this in a PNG inside your project file. Let me give you an example. This specific frame right now, I want to take a screenshot of this because I want to add this inside my video layer again, or I need to create the effects with the specific still image. I can just click this export item button to get this into a PNG file, or you can just set this to any other file you like extension. I would rather suggest you to go with PNG, not JPG, because PNG is of higher quality. Once you have set the format to PNG, you will click OK in order to create a new file inside your project section. And then you can just drag and drop it in your sequence to add that still that still image into your sequence. I will show you that later. If you want to delete a video from your timeline, you need to click the video and then backspace in order to remove it. Whenever you're working with some videos, you will always get this problem of managing your videos in one place. Let me give you an example. If I happen to have a few of the things here like this, it becomes very hectic for me to choose and see which video is actually which. So that moment of time, it will be very problematic for me to go through those things in a very efficient manner. So because of that, we can actually use this specific thing by right-clicking, selecting label, and you can choose color, whichever you like, to change the color of the video section here. And here you can just change the video. Let me just do that here. And when you do so, you will see that how this different colors looks like. So now you will have the better understanding of where that video is being used, or where you are cutting that video, or where you are adding that video to your sequence. So this was about your preview monitor. If you want to add a few more things into your preview monitor, or if you don't see all these things in your preview monitor, you can just press this plus button here to bring up the editor, in which you can add whatever you like, or you can delete by selecting reset layout. It will eventually remove everything here. Once you are satisfied with it, just press OK, and this is how it looks like. Everyone's sequence settings will be the same way because I have not changed anything in here. I'm just keeping everything the same way as they are. This is your time monitor. This shows how much duration is remaining, and this shows where you are at that specific moment of time. If I am here in 20 milliseconds, you will see that it's 20 milliseconds. If I'm here somewhere around 1 second, it will show me that it's exactly at 1 second. You can use this also to manually feed in your settings. Like if I want to go to second, exactly second, I can just double click and I can change this to second and press enter to move this exactly to second. If I want to move this to first second, I can just double click and I can select this one, and then it will be moving to the first second. So there are many things in here which you need to understand, that whenever you are selecting this, it will move you to that specific section. If you press 3, it will take you to third second. If you press 5, it will take you to fifth second of your sequence. So this is how you can move things around, and this is how it will be. Very simple and easy. If I want to go back to the start, I can just press this button here and it will take me to the start. Simple. Okay, so this is how we have gone through the sequence and the settings for sequence. This is your preview monitor, your timeline. Anyone happens to have any doubts so far with regard to this, you can please go ahead and ask me. If anyone happens to have any doubt with regarding this, they can please go ahead and ask. If not, then I can continue. All right. I believe there are no doubts. If there are any, please do let me know. If you want, you can, if you're feeling shy to unmute yourself and speak, you can also put the message in chat, which is there in Zoom, and I'll be much obliged to answer you. Okay. So I'll just move forward with this then. So now let's come to the next option here, that is your source monitor. Your source monitor has the same option, whatever you see with the preview monitor. The same thing, it comes in the source monitor also. Your preview monitor contains everything. Similarly, your source monitor also have these settings in here. Apart from the same settings which you can see in your preview monitor, you will have two more buttons here, which is video only and audio only. What they are, I will tell you now. For now, I will just remove them by selecting all. You can select these all by pressing and dragging your mouse and pressing backspace to remove everything. Now, to show you, to demonstrate what these two buttons will do, I will rather import a new video into our sequence, or rather into our project. How do I do that? Is by going to Chrome, and I will be downloading one more footage from here. Let me go with this footage, this still. Free download. To download the footage, wait for a few more seconds for this to download. Once it's downloaded, just wait for a few more seconds here. Once it's downloaded, we will be pressing, dragging, and bringing it here, dropping it in this specific section, that is your input section. There you go. So we have added this in here, and this is the time-lapse video of clouds, which you can see. If I double click this specific video, you will see that you will see the same preview of the source in here. As the preview monitor is there for the timeline, source monitor is there for the source files. Source files, source monitor, timeline, preview monitor. If I want to see how this actually video looks Before I import in my timeline, I can see that in my source monitor. When I click play, this is how the source monitor actually looks like. If you're not able to hear my sound, I can just enable the sound here so that you can hear the sound well. Perfect. So this is the sound which you have with this file. With that sound being said, we know that this file has sound in it. So this file has sound in it very well and fine. We don't need this sound at this moment of time. We need only the video. I need only video, so what I can do, I have to bring in my audio and video both together like this, and then again I have to unlink the videos and audio, and then I have to delete. This is what we will be doing. I'll just show you what I mean. Pressing, dragging and dropping in my video timeline like this, right clicking and selecting unlink so that they both gets unlinked. This is the audio of the second video. I will be pressing backspace to delete. This is a very big process. It's a hassle. So to remove that hassle, what I will do is I will select the video by double clicking so that it shows up in my preview monitor. And there are two more buttons here. Drag video only, drag audio only. That means when I drag this button here, it will drag only video. When I drag this button here, it will drag only audio. So only audio or only video. You can just drag them individually if you like. For now, I will just delete both of them. Now the problem is this video cloud, whichever it's being shown, I want this to be showing only for 3 seconds. I don't want this to be showing for 20 seconds. So if I just bring this in the first initial way, you can see that it's of 20 second, 19 milliseconds of complete video length. I don't actually want this to be this big. I want this to be a bit more smaller. I don't want this to be so lengthy so that I don't want to import this into my sequence. So I would rather just take only the first 2 or 3 seconds of the video, and then I will be bringing it in my folder here or in my sequence here. So what I can do is I can only select the first 3 seconds by using these two options. These two options are mark in and mark out. When you click mark in option, you will see that your video is marked in. Now I can move my video to 3 seconds, or I can just double click and change this to 3 seconds. And when the scrubber is here 3 seconds, I can click mark out. That means only the first 3 seconds are selected and that sequence settings are grayed out. You can see that that area is now gray. Once that is there, you can just press this section, drag it and drop it wherever you like. It's that simple. So just press and drag it to wherever you like and just keep it there. Simple as that. And now when you see, when you play it, it shows up on top. Now you may ask me that why is this video smaller than the other which is below? That is because when you go ahead and click the video which was before, you can see the resolution in the box when I move my mouse above it. It shows that 1920 by 1080. When I move this down, this one video, however, is 1280 by 720. That means this is of 1080 height and this is of 720 height. That's why it's significantly smaller than the before video. If I want to stretch this video throughout my sequence, I can do that by double clicking the video to show up the transformation controls. These are all transformation controls, we call it as. Once the transformation controls are being showing up, I can press the edge of the video, drag it at the drag down or drag up to just expand this video. We are just pressing and expanding the video. That's all we are doing. Once it's being expanded, then you can just keep it there and you can just play it. So you can see that you have expanded the video and now your video is completely taking over the second video. By the way, the second video, the background is still running. If you don't believe me, just let me double click and drag this half. Now you can see that the first video is moving and the second video is also moving. So this will show me how you can create two videos, side by side at the same time. You can just select the video here And when it's in here, you can drag this, double click and drag this to cover half of the video only. And then when I click play, you see that half of the video is being shown of the mountain and half of the video is being shown of the leaves. It's not precisely half, so I'll just try to make it precisely half. This is precisely half. Now, for people who are asking me, how do you know that it's precisely half? You can see that this is a target option which is at the center, which will happen a target icon here. So horizontal line and a vertical line. I'll be placing my horizontal line edge to the setting of the video here. And then when I just keep it there you go, it's done. This is how the video looks like. When I click play, okay. And when you click play, this is how the video looks. So half video is being shown from here, half video is being shown from here. Simple and easy trick to do so. So I'll just review whatever we have gone through so far. But before that, let's take a short break of 2 minutes and then we'll be back. So please stick around. We shall be taking a 2 minutes of short break and then we'll be coming back, revising everything, whatever we have gone through so far, and then we'll be concluding our session. Thank you so much for your patience. We'll be meeting each other in next 2 minutes. Thank you. All right, everyone. Hello, welcome back. All right, so these are the things which we have discussed in today's class. Let me just revise everything, and then we will be going to our question and answer section. So now what we were actually discussing on was your how to you'll be importing your files. You'll be importing your files by standing anywhere in your editing or color or audio, graphics, library, anywhere you like, and then you can just drag your files and drop it here in your media section. So when you bring your files to the media section, it will be automatically added to your project. Now these files are linked to your project. And now if you want to create this sequence, you'll be pressing, dragging and dropping it in the sequence file. This is how you'll be adding this to your sequence. Once your sequence is created, your sequence will have the same setting as your video or composition, which you are dragging and dropping into your new item button. Once you have added this, you will have the same video length shown here. You can alter the video length by pressing this button, dragging to the right or left, depending on the situation. You can also press plus or minus key alternatively to do so. Alternatively, you can press Alt and scroll up or scroll down in order to move your timeline, to make your timeline bigger or smaller. This is your preview monitor. This preview monitor is actually the representation of what your timeline is in here. So this timeline represents preview monitor and preview monitor represents the timeline. Whenever you're clicking play, as this scrubber is moving, the same way scrubber down below moves. That means both are actually linked together. If you're moving the scrubber here, it also moves the scrubber down. If you're moving the scrubber back, it also moves the scrubber down. You can navigate the scrubber by pressing and dragging to left or right, or you can also double click on this section and move to whichever second you like by pressing that specific timeline. Once you have selected the timeline, you will also have two buttons here which will allow you to set the sequence and to see sequence in a more precise manner. If you want to edit small things here, okay, so I have more than 3 footage. Do I need to make a copy of the footage and to create a sequence? You don't need to make a copy of the footage. You just need to copy. You just need to press drag into your sequence itself, and that will be copied to your sequence. Without actually doing anything. If you want to edit those files individually, then you can press that video and bring it to the new sequence button, and that will create a new sequence. This will again create confusion. That's why I'm not going with that. In one sequence itself, you can copy all your videos in one sequence and start editing that itself if you like. So here we happen to have two buttons. One in which it will show you sorry sorry for the distraction. So in one, it will show you how you will be zooming in that specific video. If you press 100%, you are zooming in 100%. If you want to zoom out, you can press fit to zoom out. This here is your render quality. Rendering is nothing but cooking the footage. Before you eat, you will cook your food because it can be easily digested. Therefore, before showing you the video, the processor will render the video and then it will show you because it's easier to digest the editing parts for your video, which you are doing right now. So this here will allow you to render it in full video quality or with 1/4 video quality. My processor is i5, that's why I'm going with 1/4. If you're having i7 or i9 processor, you can go with this full playback sequence. This here will give you the total time of your sequence. This is 5 second, 8 millisecond. This is your preview monitor. This here is your source monitor. Your preview monitor has all control options here down below. This is your marker option in which you can mark things in and you can name those things by double clicking them. This is your mark in and mark out, which we will be explaining in our next class. This here will allow you to go to the first section or to go to the last section of your video footage. Let me give you an example. I'm here selecting this specific video. If I want to go to the end of the video, I'll be pressing this button and it will take me to the end of the video. If I press this button, it will take me to the start of this video. If I do the same thing by selecting this part and click this button, by selecting the same thing again, and if I just click this button here, it will do the same for this specific source video. However, if you want to go to the start and end point of the specific video, we will be doing it in FX control. That is something which you will be learning at a different point of time, not now. But here you will be going through the start and end of this specific video in this way. So whenever you're moving your scribble, you can see that if I bring this to the start of the video, this is the start of this footage. Oops, I didn't select the footage. So this is actually correct. So let me bring this here. So if you can see that if I'm bringing this till here, this is the end. That means it's representing the end of the video. This is the start. It represents the start of the video. This is something which we don't discuss now. This will be something for some other day. For now, you just understand that pressing this video will take you to the start of the video. Pressing this button will take you to the end of your video, which is there in the sequence. Now, once it's done, there are two more buttons here. These two buttons, I will be explaining that in next class. This is your export frame button. Whenever you see the screen, you want this frame to be exported. You can just select the frame and click this button in order to export this frame into a PNG format. Remember always to export in PNG format. And when you do so, you will have this specific footage being, that specific frame to be added. And then you can use this as a still frame throughout your video. Now, once it's done, you can also, you can save that specific video, and you can just play around with that video if you like with the source monitor itself. When you add a video inside inside your project, you will have the video in here. If you double click the video, you will get the video in your source monitor. Your source monitor will contain the same settings which you have in here, except you will have few more things in your source monitor. That is only video and only audio. When you select any video and when you drag this to your sequence, only video is coming up. When you press this and drag this, only audio comes up. So this here will allow you to select only audio or only video. If you want to choose, now you can see that this is an example. I will take this example. This specific video is of 3 seconds. Now this is of 3 seconds. I'll just remove this completely. So this video is of 20 seconds actually. So this 20 seconds video, I don't want this to be 20 seconds. I just want to take first 5 seconds of the video. If I want to do so, I can set my marker to 0 second, press mark in, bring my cursor to first 3 seconds. You can also change this by double clicking here and typing in 3 seconds. And then press this button to mark out. This will create a gray area for your video. That means only this area of the video is selected and only this video will come in 3-second mode. When I drag my video now, you can see that only 3 seconds of the video clip comes up, not the complete video. If I just want the next 5 seconds of the video, I can go with starting from 3 seconds, I will mark in, and then after 5 seconds, that means after 8 seconds, at 8 seconds, I will mark out. From here, if I just drag, you can see that the next 5 seconds of this comes in. So this is how you can mark in and mark out and take only that specific video in your sequence. If you want to delete, just click and delete, backspace to delete it. Similarly, in order to not get confused, you can also change the color of these tracks. You can right click, select label, and you can change this to whichever you like. You can select that specific color and it will be changed. So this is how you will be changing the color of your videos. This is there to give you more authority on choosing the video and moving them around in your sequence. This was with regard to your sequence, source monitor, and preview monitor. I will just revise a few more things which I have explained with regard to your settings inside timeline. This will toggle the key off and on. That means if you press this button, the eye icon button, it will make the video disappear. If you click this button again, it will make the video appear again. These two is your toggle selection and this is your source patching. What these are, I will explain that later. This here is your lock key. Lock key will allow you to not edit any or to change any of the video sequence here. If you are very happy with the sequence which you have created and you don't want others to change this, even after you send them the file, you can just lock and send them the file so that they don't change that specific part of your sequence. You can also do this when you want to edit your video in a more precise manner, which I'll be coming to that in later classes. So this is your lock key. So these are the things which you have learned in today's class. I hope you have understood everything. If you happen to have any doubts, please go ahead and ask me. If not, then we can conclude our session. Yes, nobody have any doubts so far? I'll wait for 2 more minutes. If you happen to have any doubts, I will answer. If not, then we can conclude our class. All right. Okay, sure. Yes, Ms. Sangeeta, same procedure for your different videos as well. If you want to go with your personal videos, you can do that. If you want to go with professional videos, you can do that. The same process applies for almost everything with regard to this. You're most welcome. So no more questions here. All right, perfect. So we shall be concluding our today's class, my dear students. Thank you so much for joining me in. It was a pleasure to address you all. For more doubts or queries, you can just message me in WhatsApp. I will be much obliged to help you out with that. Thank you so much for joining me in. The recording of this session will be sent to you um, via YouTube, and we shall be seeing that. Thank you so much, Lee. Thank you so much. Take care. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Please take care.